dollar package through, that they could sneak through things like this. Of course, none of the senators or congressmen read it at all, and the Republicans couldn't stop it.
Well, I like the professor from Princeton's arguments because he really was much more realistic and down to earth than a lot of the other defenders of this line item that we've been reading about, are the ones that claim that it would never be used as to ration cost. The professor just admits right up front that we have to realize that human life has a cost, and it's properly analyzed by cost-effective analysis, and that you cannot place an infinite value on the human life. It wouldn't be just human life; it would be any kind of malady that costs money to cure, like blindness or any kind of disease. And this is all part of national health care. This is going to have to be an important part of it, because rationing based on cost is the what is going to keep the system from going bankrupt.
Yeah, they put it in there on purpose for sure. Now the one of the detractors in the article, or in another article on Bloomberg, said that hiding health legislation in a stimulus bill is intentional. Tom Daschle.
That's just politics as usual. These omnibus, I didn't say that right, but these bills that include a lot of different subjects, those are done on purpose to sort of smuggle issues past the Congress, and that's what they do. Yeah,
if you saw this little piece of it, it says he attributed Daschle, who he never got confirmed because of his problems with whatever nannies or something as health secretary, but he nevertheless was behind this provision.
Uh-huh.
He attributed the failure of the Clinton administration's healthcare overhaul to debate and delay. And a year ago, Daschle wrote that the next president should act quickly before critics can mount an opposition. And he said, quote, "If that means attaching a health care plan to the federal budget, then so be it. The issue's too important to be stalled by Senate protocol."
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty bad, isn't it? Well, he's been a politician for too many years.
Well,
he actually thinks what he's doing is ethical.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what they were able to do. They got this thing in, and it's modeled after something they do in Britain, with their health service there. And they were very sneaky about it, but they got it through. I never even saw any debate about that provision, because the debate time was so short, and it was all about the financial crisis. They just filled the airwaves with those arguments.
You might want to mention what some people had to say about this. Rush Limbaugh has talked about this in his op-ed and radio show, and
yeah.
He has highlighted the fact that, or warned, I would say, that it will be used to deny treatment to people that is too expensive. How would you like to be in a situation where we have national health care, you are dying of some malady, and the government will not approve it to give it to you because it costs too much, even though it would save your life, because it's not cost effective either. It's way expensive, or you don't have enough more years to live because you're old anyway, or something to that effect. And how would you feel if you had enough money of your own that you would be glad to pay for that kind of treatment, but because we have national health care, you can't get that at any price, because if somebody gave you that treatment outside of the system and you paid for it on your own money, that those people who supplied you with that care would then be cut completely out of the healthcare system. They'd be out of business for the rest of their lives, and so they would have to just let you die. That's the situation that we are headed through, and that's what is so frightening.
That's what it looks like, and I don't see how it's constitutional. It looks like when the bill creates a bureaucracy called.
No, wait, but there's a lot of things that aren't constitutional, that doesn't stop anybody anymore.
Yeah, they want to just get it in and then fight it out in the court later. But this bill
They don't even fight it out in court. They just blatantly ignore the Constitution these days.
Yeah, that's true for many things. Now, this, I didn't see this part, but now it says there's a bureaucracy called the National Coordinator of Health Information Technology. Sounds like a health czar who will monitor treatments to make sure your doctor is doing what the federal government deems appropriate and cost-effective.
When you say make sure, that what that means is that they're going to tell the doctors what to do, and the doctors are going to do it, because otherwise, or else they're criminally liable. You don't second guess the government when you have national health care.
I don't see if unless they make the government the insurance provider, I don't see how they can interfere unless they impose this electronic health information system on all healthcare providers. And
well, that's also part of the bill, right? They
have
an electronic information system that they are going to impose on all healthcare providers by 2011.
Oh, that's right. That was what the other article was about. That's right. 2011, they all have to comply or face penalties or be shut down. Or,
you notice that everything the government does, it does with... That's the nature of government. They don't just recommend anything or just assist you. They punish you if you don't do what you're told.
So the information part of it is just a ruse. That was a pretext for putting controls in, because it isn't just putting the patient's records online and under some common standard of information banking. It also mandates monitoring to make sure the doctor, again I'm quoting, to make sure your doctor is doing what the federal government deems appropriate and cost effective. So I don't know.
Again, a lot of bureaucrats see the system, make sure everybody's doing what they're told.
Well, if it's here's where I'm confused. If it's a private doctor, a private health insurance company, and a private citizen, what? Oh, and you know what they could do is hold the club over the head of the healthcare provider and say, you can't serve Medicare and Medicaid patients if you do not comply with these health cost-effective.
That's exactly the way they do it now.
Yeah.
Deny you access to the Medicare system if you don't do what you're told. Now, under national health care, we're all Medicare patients.
Yeah.
So right now, there are doctors who do serve patients outside of the Medicare, and they don't accept Medicare patients, and they're private doctors, and they have high prices, and they're worth it. But under national health care, all those people would disappear.
Presumably, this bill alone would only have jurisdiction over then the providers that serve Medicare and Medicaid patients, and still wouldn't be able to get at the even if they impose the information system on the independent private only doctor. How could they also impose the cost effectiveness when it's all private money? That's what
They wouldn't be able to, of course, but under national health care there would not be any private money. Keep in mind that the push for national health care is driven by the egalitarian ethic.
Yeah.
It says that it's not fair to get better health care if you have money. You shouldn't have access to better health care than the poorest person. And that's the egalitarian ethic. Health care should be something that is a basic human right, and it should be regardless of your ability to pay. And that's why we have to have national health care. That's the real moral, ethical driving force behind national health care. So as long as you recognize that, then you can anticipate what will be like under national health care means that no matter how much money you have after they install the system,